So glad you're still with us on Colorado and Company. I'm Jackie Polisi. The main mission of the Women's Bean Project is to change the lives of women by providing stepping stones to self-sufficiency through social enterprise. An average of 70% of women succeed. And you can support Women's Bean Project by purchasing holiday goodies. Tamara Ryan shares more with us today about all of that and all the good that the Women's Bean Project is doing. Tell us more.
Well, it's great to be here. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We hire women who are chronically unemployed. So a typical woman we hire hasn't had a job longer than a year in her lifetime. The average age is 39. So they have long histories of addiction and incarceration and perhaps domestic violence. And they come to us and they work for about 6 to 9 months. And at the end of that time, they go on to jobs in the community. But the entire job is around making our food products. And so I brought some stuff for you today to see.
And that's wonderful. I want to get at it because it's really expanded. I did a story on the Women's Bean Project in the 90s, and it's really grown so much. But let's talk about the women you serve and how they find you.
Well, referrals from service providers in the community, so a case manager through the welfare services or food stamps or the criminal justice system. Mm-hmm. But the number one referral source is someone else who's been in the program. Mm-hmm. And that might be a cousin or an aunt or a sister or someone through the years. This year is our 30th anniversary. So there are lots of women in our community who have gone through the program.
We were talking about some of the stories and the transformations that you've seen in your time there. It's pretty tremendous. And don't let the name fool you. It's not just about beans anymore. There's new things happening in the new year, aren't there?
Well, new things happening and some new things even this year. This fall we introduced a line of snacks, so ready-to-eat items. I brought some today to show you. And then after the first of the year, we're going to be introducing instant breakfast cups.
Nice.
Yeah, so really
Very
yummy
convenient.
Oats and things like that with different flavors. So I'm pretty excited about that.
I bet you are. And again, Tamara and I were talking about some of the stories. And so do you have a success story you'd like to share with us?
Well, I think one of my favorite stories is about a woman named Janine. And she grew up, she told me the story that the youngest child of 2 drug addicts. So she said, when I was growing up, I didn't know anybody who worked. And as a result of that, growing up that way, she was surrounded by people who used drugs. And so when she was 12, she started selling drugs. By the time she was 16, she started using. And by the time she was 17, she was a mom. Wow. And so, you know, when we think about what happens to someone who grows up in that kind of environment, it's hard to imagine that she would have the skills to go on to employment. Mm-hmm. After many years of selling drugs, eventually she was arrested and convicted on federal drug charges. So she was sent away to federal prison. She had 4 kids by then. After she was released, she came back and she was supporting all 4 of her children, ranging in age from 8 to 18 by the time she came to work for us. She'd gotten her GED, she enrolled in college, and she finished our program successfully and went on to a job in the community making $18 an hour. And she made sure that all those kids stayed in school. And I think that's the most significant thing, is that she was determined that they were going to have a different life than she had.
She broke that cycle.
Exactly.
What a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing. Well, let's jump into something and have some fun here. What are you going to make for us?
Well, I brought some yummy oatmeal chocolate chip cookies. So I brought some already baked. But the reason I brought this is because they're so easy. And it's a great way to spend time with your family over the holidays. In fact, my son helped me make these cookies, and he asked me to give him a shout out.
Wonderful. So, there it is.
It is a stick of butter, and then you cream the butter with the sugar. So a lot of times people make the mistake of melting the butter when they're baking cookies.
I've done it.
And you can't do that because what happens is then you have really flat
cookies.
Yes, flat cookies because they all melt. So you cream the butter and then you put 1 egg in. Okay. And then once you've put the egg in, you put in the mix that is the oatmeal and the flour and all of the other yummy stuff that actually makes the cookies. You mix all that in, and then the last part is you put the chocolate chips in.
Okay.
You bake them for 8 to 10 minutes, easy peasy.
And we all love chocolate chip cookies. It's a good thing to have on the counter this holiday season. Speaking of holidays, how can we help the Women's Bean Project during the holidays?
Well, I want everybody to know that sales create jobs. So buying our products is a great way to support us because that gives us the ability to hire more women. In a year, we hire between 60 and 70 women. The more product we sell, the more women we will hire.
Wonderful. Tamara, thank you. We
Thank
appreciate
you
you being here today. Women's Bean Project continues to change lives by providing stepping stones to success. Women Accepted work 6 to 9 months to help them stabilize their lives. Support in their mission and purchase products online. Women's Bean Project womensbeanproject.com, where the gift-giving ideas are endless. And today you can receive 15% off of your order when you use the promo code CO&CO at checkout. That's CO&CO at checkout. The website again, womensbeanproject.com. Keep it here for more Coco Cheer right after the break.